Did you buy weed water?
We're in first place in the frickin' Idiot League.
Two Idiots Talk Sports. Sports talk. Funny and uncensored.
All right. Good Sunday to you. Coming to you from On the Border Studios. This is Two Idiots Talk Sports. I'm Chinstill Fuego, and with me is Drunk Tim. And It is August 12th, 2018. On the Border Studios, Oklahoma City. And we are here to just give you the full 100% milk, not the 2% stuff, right from the teat. We are tits. And boy, I feel like we've got a ton of things to talk about.
As per usual.
Yeah, and I figured getting closer to football season, that's the way it would be. There's just so many storylines, there's so many teams, there's so many things even going on outside of football. It's just like, I mean, you just kind of cherry pick. At that point.
That's what I like about sports, and especially football. You know, I try to explain to chicks. Actually, one of our neighbors, like way back, like 18 years ago or whatever it was, at those apartments, like the neighbor, he was really into pro wrestling. And I asked him, what's the deal? Everyone knows it's rigged and all that kind of stuff. What's the big appeal of it?
Yeah.
And so he explained it to me the best way I've ever been explained. He said it's a soap opera for guys. And like, well, that makes a lot of sense. But see, like to me, I enjoy obviously I enjoy talking about sports, but yeah, the little side note type of stuff going on outside of the field or the court.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's not just the actual action going on, it's the other stuff and the personalities and the, whatever, even if that part is still fake too. Like, I don't like him either. Well, oh yeah, and you try to take sides, it's like, it is fake.
Or if you hear a good story, like, man, this person, like Larry Fitzgerald, what a great guy. It's definitely somebody you could root for.
Yeah.
And, there's all those kind of stories, especially it seems like in basketball, but there's probably a lot in football too. But talking about these guys grew up, single mother like Kevin Durant did, and had to fight all of this, I don't know what the word is, all this turmoil and everything going on in their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Just like Jimmy Butler, like he had kind of a rough childhood and everything, and he rose above it, and now he's, making millions of dollars playing basketball for a living.
Yeah. And making fake Twitter accounts and stuff. It's pretty incredible.
That's how the ladder works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make millions, become one of the greatest at my sport, and I make false accounts so that I can
even that shit out.
Yeah, exactly. So I can say whatever I want.
I can validate.
That's right. Ugh. So how's your week? You have a good week?
Yeah, actually it wasn't too bad. Nothing really exciting. Just doing the DUI school. I think I told you I'd binge watch and watch the Band of Brothers thing for the first time.
Oh yeah, Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers has got to be one of the top, especially for guys, I would think, like top series, just up there in the top 5 or something, if you're to rank or whatever. It's got to be up there, one of the best of all time. I mean, the Band of Brothers was done really, really well.
And of course, as I go through it, back then, I think it was done in 2001 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you go through it nowadays watching it, and you see all these stars pop up. I'm like, that's friggin' James McAvoy. And then later on, and of course, Jimmy Fallon has his quick little bit that he does on there. And then Tom Hardy shows up on the one little short nude scene that they had on the whole series. I mean, he wasn't nude. Well, I mean, you saw his ass, but
whoa,
it was impressive.
Did it look like he worked out?
Yeah, it's like, man, Jean-Luc Picard's looking pretty good there. But
did it look like Venom ass?
It didn't. Well,
Because he's going to be Venom, right?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
he is Venom, and so yeah, it probably looked like Venom asked like when he goes to the bathroom.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Here, let me give my toilet some symbiotes. Like, oh lordy. Sorry, that's some nerd talk.
Like,
And
right, it is, yeah.
For anybody out there that even knows that word and what I'm talking about.
Symbiotes, what?
Speaking of which, Sony, they're talking about they're doing because they're not as like pushovers as I guess Fox is. You know, they went ahead and finally threw in the towel and said, okay, we'll sell all of our Marvel characters to Disney and let them just take over all of our shit. So Sony, they're holding on to their shit tight. And I didn't know, but I was reading this article, and they have like 300 or no, it was like. I want to say it was like 300 or 900. I don't know why it's one of those two. But it was like, I think it was 900. 900 fucking Marvel characters that they own, that they have the rights to. I mean, they're like tier 2. I think that's the wording. They're mostly B characters. I mean,
Yeah,
of course, they got...
that most people have never heard of. Yeah.
Yeah, they got Spider-Man and all of his Spider-Verse stuff,
Yeah.
which, you know... I don't think they'll ever let go of that shit. So they'll probably just keep all of what they have intact. But so they're starting to do, they're talking about doing their own Marvel Cinematic Universe thing, but they're calling it Sony Universal Marvel Universe or something like that.
That already sounds shitty.
Yeah.
That already sounds like, oh, this is going to suck.
Well, they could just call it the Spider-Verse universe or
There
something
you go.
like that.
That's easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they've got other characters that I'm sure have nothing to do with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But Disney,
That they want to introduce.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's some of the. I was trying to like Black Cat, and there was another one that was part of the whole Weapon X program with Wolverine and Deadpool and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. They got to be careful on that stuff, though, because, like, you're talking about tiers and levels. They're on that level for a reason. Some of them just aren't that interesting.
No.
You start trying to break them all out and like, hey, let's introduce this and and the average person's just like, that sucks. I'm not intrigued.
It can be done though. Look at what Guardians of the Galaxy did. Like, who the fuck are they?
Right.
And then
But
word of
you
mouth
can-
came out. How good the movie was.
For every Guardian of the Galaxy, there's Howard the Duck. So just
Who was on Guardians of the Galaxy?
right. Keep that in mind.
Growing up, I never knew that was a Marvel Comics character. I remember watching that old goofy movie with
Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson.
Woo,
Yeah.
man.
Are you talking about like she was sexy?
Yeah, she did a duck. But yeah, she was.
And it was like totally okay, like bestiality in a comic book, like a kids movie. Like,
Well,
mommy, what's she doing?
But it was
she's
an
just
alien
making,
duck.
She's making it with an alien duck species.
It's an alien duck.
Okay.
So I mean, if it's like an Earth duck, not so cool. But it's an alien duck. You're like, well, I mean, it's an alien duck.
Talk about a way to try and ruffle people's feathers.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, that was a little too on the nose, right?
On the beak?
Yeah, on the beak.
On the beak?
Just put it on my bill.
Did you know? You probably know. Like I said, I've said before, I'm always behind on some things. But like, okay, we have this CBD stuff that's going around, right?
I like to be behind on some things.
Hello. And
But CBD?
There's this CBD stuff. CBD has popped up everywhere. And so somebody at work has this CBD water. And I'm like, what the hell is this CBD water? What is this? And I was just like, well, yeah, it's it's supposed to help with, I mean, it's CBD. I'm like, did you just really buy CBD water because it says CBD? Like, what? It's basically weed water? Did you buy weed water? And she's just like, it's not weed, it's CBD, and it's supposed to help with pain or whatnot. Does it help? Does it help you with your pain? I really can't tell the difference, to be honest. How much? And I'm like, so how much did you pay
No shit.
for this weed water? And it's like, it's over $4 for a bottle. And I'm like, wow.
1 liter or something.
Are we just that? We can be marketed to so easily. Like
We're like kids now.
Like shit, here's this CBD weed water. Oh, hey, that's the cool thing. Let me go have some weed water.
While I'm vaping on some CBD oil.
Right. Let me just pour out a bong and drink it. I don't know. Like $4 a bottle? That is, my gosh.
Well, like you said, like here, just give me one of those dollars, and I'll let you have the water at the bottom of my bong.
Yeah, make some of your money back off your.
Hell yeah! Like I'd like to make my drug dollar stretch.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh, and they're like, you hear the advertisements, and you just wonder if it, like valid or legit, and they try to make it seem like, oh yeah, you get this cream, and it's like there's creams out there. Why does it have to be CBD? It's just funny to me, like like you can't get like Blue Emu, which is all and other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, but this is CBD. Oh, okay. So does it just cure you of whatever for the rest of your life now, or do you have to take it multiple times over and over and over again, just like this other cream that's not CBD
At $4 a pop.
at now I'm sure the cream is jacked up higher than $4 a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, that was just my random take of the week. Was just like, what's with this weed water shit? Are you serious?
So that's like
This is a
expensive
thing?
enough to be on someone's budget. So they're like, all right, rent or mortgage, however, and then electric, water bill, gas bill, phone bill. How could I forget my weed water?
Right.
Yeah,
I know. Well, and you mentioned the water bill. I wonder if you could get, try to make it economical. Get like a weed water filter for your sink.
like a Brita.
Yeah, like a Brita, right? And you're like, I get the effects of the CBD, and I don't have
Without
to
all the
pay.
hassle.
Without all the hassle. We got our own little commercial.
Fuck, Shark Tank, here we come.
That's right. It's a weed water filter. Weed water. Sorry, I misspoke. CBD.
Oh man, now I know totally what you're talking
I've
about.
heard of that. That's good. Yeah, that's so medical and totally legit.
Like, it's made with real bits of marijuana plants, so you know it's good.
Yeah, I thought I did notice some chunks in that water. They didn't grind it.
They didn't get the seeds out.
Oh. Anyway, yeah, that's my.
Okay, now I'm thinking of like people breaking up weed for weed water. It's like, man, get the stems out of there too.
Oh, I wonder if you have to pay for CBD water with like a bag of dicks. Like, I heard that term recently, and I just like that just makes me smile. I like a bag of dicks, and sadly enough, I always think of Brahms. Like, for those who know what Brahms is, they always have a bag of burgers. It's 5 for $5.55. There's a lot of fives in there, and it's just like, oh, I need to feed my family a bag of burgers. Like, oh, hey Brahms, how much is a bag of dicks? I don't know. Anyway,
Maybe 5 for $15.55.
well, it depends on the dicks.
Yeah, like I want my dicks fresh. I don't want some of this shit that's been sitting in the warmer for 2 hours.
Yeah, bag of frozen dicks. That's
A bag of frozen. Yeah, it's like Whataburger. They're like, we make your stuff to order. Like, bag of dicks. Bag of dicks. Heard ya.
Yeah,
Like,
small print. The small print's like, when thawed, they may go limp or whatever. Not to be used in Arizona. Blah blah blah. Just like, what? What was that?
Do not consume if you are pregnant or expecting to become pregnant.
Anyway, bag of dicks. Oh my goodness. So, actual sports.
Hey, bag of dicks could be turned into a sport.
It could be. Like it could be a team sport.
Yeah, it's like a relay. Like,
Yeah.
Here's the first one. You got 5
Oh,
legs.
dude, yeah. Like instead of a baton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
The passing the dick instead of the baton.
People may run from you. I don't know. It may be looked at as a weapon.
It's like on that old video, what was a Sega Genesis video game, Road Rash, where you're racing on motorcycles and you have chains that you can hit the
Yeah.
motorcyclist next to you. And Like
That's dangerous, yeah.
the runner next to you doesn't have his big dick, but you have yours, so you just smack him in the face with it.
Get like a brain hemorrhage. I mean, it's bad. Oh, my
Have to
goodness.
start wearing helmets and shit. Get it? Dick, helmet?
Helmet, yeah.
Okay.
Dick helmet. Oh, man. Did we mention dick helmets last week? This keeps coming up somehow.
I think we did.
Maybe. Or a week before. I get them mixed up. Anyway, it's not like it's always on my mind, but somehow it just comes up.
It's like, hey, it's Sunday, it's 12 o'clock. Oh, yeah, time to talk about helmets and penises.
Well, helmets in sports. Yeah, we talked about the helmet rule. That's what it was. Anyway. So, hey, last week we didn't get to talk about, we will talk about this week. We're going to talk about the connection with legalized sports betting and how the first of the major sports to get involved major sports, the NBA, as they have teamed up with MGM Resorts, basically as a partnership deal. I kind of get, maybe I'm not smart enough, I kind of get what MGM gets out of the deal. It's a 3-year, they signed on as a 3-year, $25 million deal. Basically, they're able to use the NBA logos and all the stuff to put out their marketing of their betting and stuff. Hey, if you're going to bet on the NBA, come bet with us. You know, that kind of deal. I get it from that end. I'm still trying to figure out how the NBA benefits, but...
Well, I'm sure they probably get a cut. But, I mean, does that mean, like, I think, doesn't the WNBA, don't they have, didn't they turn the WNBA into, like, a NASCAR thing where they have sponsors on their jerseys?
Oh, they're doing that in...
Isn't it the WNBA?
They're doing that in all the sports now.
Oh.
Yeah, they've got the little logos in the upper right.
Like fucking Home Depot and shit?
Yeah, it's not Home Depot, but it's different
Well, I mean, outside
sponsors.
Well, outside of like obvious things like Adidas or Nike or something or Under Armour, but
Right.
like something because MGM sounds like, to me, that sounds like such a weird, like, what the fuck? Why MGM and the NBA? That's such a weird pairing to me.
Yeah. Well, for whatever reason, they've paired up, and all the consensus, everything I could find so far is what makes it. It's like, what makes this interesting? Well, what makes it interesting is the thought process. All the analysts, everybody believes that all this influx of money coming in for the sports betting is going to come in, and it's going to change everything. Mark Cuban himself said that basically it's going to double the value of every NBA team just because of the legalized sports betting and this deal that they've made. So that's how much money is going to be flowing in. It's kind of like when they did the TV contracts and the TV deals, we saw the raise of player salaries increase. They were able to sign these huge deals. And so then it kind of flatlined out now, where, like, to the point where we're at now, where the max contracts are at this level. And so you think, well, they can't go any higher because they have this and the luxury tax. But now that they've got this going on, they're expecting that so much more money is now going to be flowing into the teams that the players' salaries in the off seasons, in the coming off seasons, are now going to be able to skyrocket again.
Which, of course, is total bullshit.
So if you think, hey, the player, you can be for or against or whatever, but if you think the players are making a whole hell of a lot of money now, it's only about to, it's about to skyrocket up.
They should try and use this as an opportunity to give a big shout out, thank you to the fucking fans that show up, game after game, and make the tickets a little bit cheaper.
They could. I don't know that they would do that.
Of course not. Of course not, because they're like, no, we're getting more money. No, that goes in my pocket. Not in the fans' pockets that give us that because of them, we're super rich.
Yeah. But the NBA is on fire right now. They give a good product. I've been to...
Except for James Harden.
I've been to some Harden hate right there. The producer, Kenneth, and I, we've been to Thunder Game or two, and they put on a great show. It's funny to me, we go to the show, and I'm there strictly for the basketball. I'm there actually for the basketball, but you can see where they cater to those who, you don't even have to be into basketball. And I've told people this. They're like, well, I'm not really into basketball, but there's so much going on. There's always something happening, even in timeouts or halftime or commercial breaks. There's always people jumping off trampolines, or the unicycle chick, or there's stuff always happening.
Shooting T-shirts into the stands.
Right, exactly. There's like never a dull moment during the entire time that you're there. So
shout out to Rumble.
So I mean, I ticket prices. I don't know. Personally, I don't complain too much about it. Not that I'm a rich person at all. It hurts it's an event if I go, but they at least put on a show and they do a great job of. I mean, even if I wasn't a big basketball fan or a big fan of the Thunder, I would still go to a game and be entertained. I guess that's the way I'd feel about it, But
well, it's one of those venues where a lot of the wealthier people, because like us po people, if we're wanting to take someone out on a date, we just take them to a movie and maybe dollar menu on McDonald's or some shit like that. But there are people
probably not get a second date either.
Probably not. But I really like their dollar sandwiches. No, so
no, really, I really like this sandwich. It's not because of the price.
But it makes me. It's not just basketball, but just pro sports in general. I think one of the Kardashian sisters, she was wanting to sue. This was months ago, but she was wanting to sue whatever baseball club that might have been like a Dodgers game or something. But she had gone to a pro baseball game. And she was sitting in one of the suites, as far as like our Bricktown ballpark, there's that restaurant in the left foul line area down the end. And so she was sitting in one of those kind of things, but it was like a luxury suite. And I think there wasn't a window or something like that blocking it. Anyway, someone had hit a baseball and it hit her in the head. And
somebody should have taken it for the team, dived, sacrificed their body to save her.
But she was up high. She wasn't down on the field level.
Right, but somebody should have sacrificed their life to keep her from getting hit by that. This is a national treasure that we have. And so, I totally agree. She should totally sue whatever team that was. It was probably the Dodgers.
Being in LA.
Of course, I'm being facetious. It's just ridiculous. Pay attention.
Yes.
If you're at a game, by the way, they might hit a ball your direction.
Yes.
The way I look at it is, if you're lucky enough, hopefully you get a ball hit your direction. I mean, I'm one of those I'll steal that ball away from that kid.
Even without a glove.
I'm just kidding.
I would totally steal it from a kid.
Would you stiff arm a kid to get the foul ball?
Hell yeah. Especially if it's a pro baseball game. I've never been to a anything game, but yeah.
You haven't been to any pro games whatsoever?
Never.
And we do a sports podcast. We gotta fix this.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a future fix. We gotta fix it. Not that I've been to a ton. Matter of fact, my first pro football game was this last October to the Vikings-Packers game, and that was really cool.
You're gonna go to the Chiefs next month?
Yes. Yep. Blair Smith and I are gonna go. We're gonna go scout the Chiefs and come back with a full report, I guess.
But I mean, I've been to semi-pro games. I've been to the Blazers a few times.
Oh, hockey, yeah.
And then of course our Red Hawks and everything. I haven't seen them since they became the Dodgers.
I struggle with that. I'm a big, and we'll talk about that's in part of the segment somewhere. I'm a big San Francisco Giants fan. I've always been a Giants fan since teenage years growing up. It was like, hey, we're going to love baseball and sports in general. And I picked a team, and it was the San Francisco Giants.
This was before Bonds, right?
Well, yeah, this is before Bonds. This is like Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell and Matt Williams and these guys. I mean,
Clark, I remember that
Will
one.
Clark, man, one of the greatest swings in baseball history. The dude was just smooth. It was awesome. But but the Giants, their arch rival is the Dodgers. So how ironic that their farm damn team is the Oklahoma City Dodgers. I mean, that's kind of a conundrum for me. Like, yes. I really like to support the local teams, and here we are. It's my rival team. Anyway, so I still don't know how to deal with that. That's why I haven't been to a Dodgers game yet, and I just don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know if I got to suck it up and just do it.
Dude, you got to suck it up. You got to root for the home team.
Man, I don't know.
You'll get there.
Maybe I can go to the games and yell things that are just so like mentally that it just jacks with their psyche for the rest of their lives that they'll never be able to go up and help the actual pro Dodgers team get any better.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you think that's a goal? Like,
that
is that
could
good?
Be something. Yeah, like go to San Francisco.
Go razz my own home team.
Yeah.
Y'all suck. Your moms wear combat boots. Like that's not gonna jack with them. You gotta say much worse stuff than that.
Get off your knees, ref. You're blowing the game.
You didn't go after the refs. You gotta jack with the team.
Well, you go after the refs too and the umps.
Yeah, just everybody. Everybody's fair game.
I guess in baseball they're all umpires, aren't they?
Yes. Yes.
The second base guy.
Umpire, yeah.
Well, I know that there's one umpire in football.
Yeah.
Field judge and line judge and
guy who
back
sticks
judge.
his face into the replay booth for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Judge.
I love the back judge because like on his referee jersey it says fucking BJ. I'm like, well, you know what he's good at outside of this.
Hey, his time will come.
Well, you know, they hire a lot of fucking doctors and lawyers that don't really need this job. They just do it as a hobby.
Yeah. That's a weird hobby. Like, you have to have a certain... To be a referee, any sport, there's a certain mentality you've got to have, I feel like. You've got to be very cut and dry.
Thick skin.
You've got to be very thick-skinned. Like, you just really don't give a shit what anybody thinks about you. There seems to be a mentality there that... I couldn't do it. I first person's like,
went to.
Hey, man, you fucking blew the call. I'd be like, fuck you. Go. You're out of here.
Well, you know, for years, actually, I've wanted to do refereeing because years, like, 13, 14, 15 years ago when I was driving a school bus for Oklahoma City, one of the other drivers, he had like 3 jobs. He was driving the school buses and training people on it. He was driving on the weekends for Red Carpet, making really good money just to go, take some old people to fucking Shreveport to go gamble and stuff.
Nice.
And then, of course, another job he did, he went and refereed and did all kinds of sporting events for Oklahoma City schools. So,
wow.
And somebody I worked with at Putnam City Schools, like they also did the refereeing on the side.
Yeah.
Like $50 a pop.
Oh, just 50. Yeah, okay. So $50 each time?
Yeah, so $50 for 3 hours of, taking shit from parents and.
Man, that's just not. Like I said, it's in some people's DNA. It's not in mine. There's no way.
I could totally. Football would be way easier because for one thing, you got the parents way the fuck away from you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you still hear it though. I bet.
I'm sure, but yeah, basketball refereeing. That's. I've said it before, I think even on this show, that basketball referees have the toughest job in refereeing in any sport.
Well, that may have changed now with football and that helmet rule and all the other stuff now.
Man, that's going to be hard.
I think that's now challenged basketball as far as refereeing because it's so quick. Second was that you have to gauge intention or intent. Did he really go with the helmet? Did he go with the shoulder? Is it a little bit of both? Do I call that? It's just too much.
When you have like an inch separation between your shoulder and your helmet.
And that's just assuming you're at the perfect angle to even catch it in the first place. So, because not every play is the exact same, or does it happen in the exact same spot?
Well, I've always thought, to me, this seems like a dumb moment, as it were, as we used to say back in the day. But to me, it just seems like because that has always been an issue they've talked about with the replay. With like you made the comment about how long it takes them to be in the fucking booth. I feel like there should be somebody watching the game like from afar, like even maybe on a monitor, and I guess he would be like the 7th or 8th referee, and so that way they just tell them as it happens. Yeah, that was that was actually a false start, not an encroachment or...
Yeah, but there is now. But it's not a guy, it's a committee back in New York City, which, of course, then can bring up the whole potential conspiracy theories of, well, wait a minute, are they trying to see if certain teams win or... because sometimes it'll come down, it's these faceless people that you never interview or come in contact with or whatever, and it's just like, okay, well, it's gone to New York. Oh, New York it's come in. That was not a catch. It's what? Who? How do we got to ask this guy? This is a ridiculous call. If it's just like there's a name, there's no name, there's no face, and
they need to be
no
fined.
accountability. It's just this group up in New York. It's just
fucking Big Brother of football.
Right. It's kind of a weird type of deal, man. I don't know. It's like, oh, is it the Illuminati? Are they the ones? I don't know. I mean, it's just this group of people. Anyway, I don't know.
But I'm saying there should be a referee for each game.
Yeah.
That makes a quick decision, not like, well, we got to go via satellite or, whatever, the FaceTime, all that kind of shit. Like, there's someone on, like, the referees down on the field have an earpiece, or at least the head judge or whatever that makes the final calls. The guy up in the booth is saying, yeah, that was a false start, or that one wasn't spearing, or...
Yeah, you could have fun with it. You can have like a celebrity, a random celebrity person, like, all right, we're going to the feed. We're with Don Knotts. I don't think it wanted to catch. And like, okay, well... And put them on the big Jumbotron, and they're like, well, I guess it wasn't a catch.
Oh, Andy, I was wrong about that one.
4th down. Don Knotts just lost the game for the Raiders.
It was a tuck rule, I swear. I've never watched a game of football in my life. Where's Jack Tripper?
Anyway. Oh, my goodness. So we got to talking. No. I don't want to go into that yet. Sorry. We're talking about sports betting and things like that. So some things that came up that we can get into a little bit is Vegas odds, of course, are always coming out on what the odds are on teams to win and win totals and what their odds are to win the title and things like that. And I had jotted down some of the teams with Super Bowl odds, and this is after the fact of our preview show of who we had picked.
Holy shit.
The number one team, the team with the best odds going in, of course, is the returning champion, the Philadelphia Eagles, 8-1 odds.
Wow.
They gave the Patriots 10-1 odds. And, of course, let's see, the Vikings, they gave 13-1. The Rams, they gave 15. The Rams and the Saints, they gave 15-1. And the general rule of thumb, 15-1 odds are usually pretty decent because they have a good shot and you make good return on your betting money.
And I picked the
Saints.
Saints.
So I hear.
And I picked the Saints for their division, so that's cool.
Yeah, the Jaguars were 18-1, Steelers 20-1, and the Falcons, the Atlanta Falcons, were 25-1. Everybody else was like 30 or above, so.
Not a shot in hell.
I don't know how I go that far, but.
Well, the Giants and the Cardinals have proven me wrong on that.
Yeah.
The Cardinals didn't win the Super Bowl, but
they got there.
They were 8-8, just like I'm pretty sure they were 8-8, just like that first New York Giants team that won the Super Bowl.
Something like that.
Because I remember that Giants team that beat the Patriots the first time. They were 8-8.
Were they 8-8 or were they 9-7?
I think they were 8-8, and if I remember correctly, all of their 8 wins were on the road that year.
Wow.
They were winless at home. And so they went, like, all of their games, they were counted out, even the wild card game. Like, Giants, they ain't got a shot. They win that one, they go to the divisional round. No, they ain't got a shot at that. They win that one, then they go to the conference championship game. No, they ain't got a shot. And then they go up against the only undefeated team in the 16-game era.
There you go.
The Patriots at 18-0.
Yeah, with Randy Moss. The time they have Randy Moss and they're just like lighting up the NFL, like Tom Brady's going off. GG is here. How are you doing, GG?
Good. More chips?
Hey, so what do you think? Should Kim Kardashian sue the Dodgers for a foul ball hitting her in the head?
I don't know.
I mean, she's like a national monument, right? She shouldn't get hit in the head with a ball.
A national monument.
Yeah. Do you think the baseball players should apologize to her? No?
Should the Dodgers actually, like, pay her for her emotional damage and scarring? No. Right?
Yeah, that's money on the line, man. That's $1 million face.
Actually, that's probably like a $250 million body. Yeah, because it's the ass that really that's her money maker.
Well, she was sitting on that. There was no way the ball was going to hit that.
Yeah, like
and plus the bounce back, I bet it would have gone back into play on the field. Like if she was turned around and it would have just kind of bounced off like a moon bounce.
A moon bounce.
He could have potentially caught that as a fly ball and it would have been an out.
Yeah, that's true because it wouldn't have landed officially.
Yeah. That may be wrong.
That's food for thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I'm just thinking about, instead of bouncing quarters off of someone's ass, we're bouncing baseballs off of Kim Kardashian's ass.
We're thinking about her ass and food. I don't know. So,
well, that's how it comes out.
we are in the mood for Tecate.
Tecate sloppies? 3?
Yes.
Sloppies. No salt.
No salt on yours? And some chips and salsa. You want a Sprite this time or not? Okay, I'll be right back.
No, thank you.
Una más Coca-Cola, por favor.
Okay.
Oh, man. You and your Spanish.
My Spanglish.
You and your Spanglish.
I've learned most of my shit from you.
Oh, no wonder. I'm so sorry.
Well, the other part I learned from that fucking whore Dora.
Dora is not that. I am offended that you have represented Dora in such a manner.
Dude, do you not realize what Dora's gonna turn out to be? She's gonna be a crack whore because look at what kind of parenting she has.
She's a cartoon. She's never gonna grow up.
Dude, yeah, she does. They did another show where Dora is like she's like grown up and stuff, but she's like Dora goes to college. I don't know, but
yeah, it's like an HBO special comes out. Dora the Explorer Hora. And you're like, oh wow, the college years
behind the exploration.
Library, administration, dorm room. Library, administration. Dorm room.
And that fucker Swiper is going to be coming in like,
Oh, man.
Did you say Swiper's cheating off of my SATs? Where? Turn around, you dumb bitch. And then she finally turns around after 5 minutes of asking, like, are you sure you see Swiper? Yes, I'm fucking sure. Turn around, you dumb bitch. And then she turns around and that's when he hides. Yeah. I'm like, you fucking cunt. Like, if you would have just turned around when I told you to.
Yeah.
And so, like, imagine this person that's grown up, like, her parents are totally cool with her just going to Crocodile River and all these extremely dangerous places with this talking monkey.
Yes.
And this possessed backpack.
Hey, Boots was,
Boots goes hardcore, man.
Yeah, Boots.
He's from the streets.
Boots is from the streets. That's why she's able to stay alive and stay safe. She's got street knowledge.
She got street cred. She's like, man, I'm with Boots.
Yeah, so she's got street smarts. Maybe I don't know if that's going to work out in college. Book smarts. She's got both.
She ain't gonna make it to college. She's gonna go down the wrong alley, and there's gonna be needles and shit there.
Look, Dora the Explorer, I think, could take on a. Never mind. Sorry. Dora the Explorer.
So
in college,
you've seen Dora the Explorer, right?
Yeah.
So
yes.
Okay, yeah. So what is it now? Because they have a show where she's all grown up and everything, right?
I don't know. I used to watch when I was little.
Right.
Well, I was just talking about
Boots.
Imagine she's gonna turn out to be like a crack whore, right? Because her parents don't give a shit. No. I still want that. No, so her parents just let her go off to like Crocodile Alley and Snake River and all these extremely dangerous places. Like, honey, mind the anaconda. Like, and then so she gets to go with this talking monkey. Like with this lack of parental supervision, she's bound to like go down the wrong alley. And there's needles there, and some guy's saying, hey, you want to take a ride on the train? And she's like, ooh, train, high, passed out, and raped. I don't know.
Wow. I'm sorry.
That's
sorry,
what
GG.
that's what they do the first time whenever they stick you with heroin.
I used to be Dora's blood Dora.
You used to
That's
be
what we
Dora?
called her, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
I used to cut my hair.
Oh, really?
No
Yeah.
way.
You used
For
to
real?
cut your hair like Dora?
And I used to have the little backpack. when I
Hopefully
used to go
your
to
head
school.
was.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully your head wasn't like twice the length of your body.
No, it wasn't.
I just
Yeah.
gotta take one. We'll be right back.
All right.
Thank you, darling.
Oh my goodness. We really took a right turn.
Sorry about that. Actually, I think we took like 4 right turns.
Yeah, I mean, we went into the back alley with Dora. Poor girl.
You said back alley.
The back alley. Back alley with Dora.
And her parents wouldn't be around to say no or stop you.
Back to Vegas odds. The Los Angeles Lakers. The reason you go to Vegas odds is, for the most part, you want to figure there's really no bias. They're just putting out a number, and a good number, so that people can bet both sides or whatnot.
Well, and the rest of the country goes based
So
off of those numbers.
their only bias is, hey, we're going to make money. So it's not, hey, we're Lakers fans or we're not Lakers fans. It's, here's what with all the research and stuff, this is where we're going to set the line at. And they set the line at 48.5 wins for the Lakers for this upcoming season, and all their random people that they brought in on these one-year contracts. So
Did you get the rest of the NBA, or you just only
no, they had
the Thunder at what?
At 48, I didn't get the other win totals, but like that would put the Lakers at around the 4th or 5th seed if we compare it to this last season, the win totals.
Isn't that how many the Thunder won? Didn't they win 48?
48. But the Thunder are actually expected to win more this next year and be around a 3rd seed, according to
So
Vegas
what, like
odds.
50 wins, 51?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, picking the Thunder to go up over
So
the Lakers.
what they're essentially picking, if you're going by what wins and things like that, essentially it would be a first-round series between the Lakers and Jazz, and then,
Yeah, don't sleep on the Jazz, Lakers.
well, but at the same time, you could see where that would be a pretty winnable series for the Lakers too. I think there's a lot of teams you're like, man, that team would give the Lakers problems. I don't know that they'd go very far, but the Jazz, for all the things that they've got going on, when you look at matchups, Lakers would have a pretty good shot against the Jazz. But then the next problem is the next round, obviously, if you assume that Golden State is the 1 seed, then they would go on to face Golden State, and then, game over.
Yeah, if the referees catch on to Harden's bullshit. And
For the regular season?
Yeah, and don't let him win another 65 games.
Well, most
or
people,
66.
their win total was set back by quite a bit. Actually, they're for the Rockets, they're still expected to be like a 2 seed and do well, but they're expected to have quite the setback. I mean, because they did get rid of some key defensive players, kind of the intangible guys, and of course they picked up Melo, and they factored that in too. And
Really?
yeah, so
Our producer says they are going down because of picking up Melo.
well, we've seen it here ourselves, and we'll see what happens. But
They've still got Superman, right?
Clark Kent,
No, Dwight Howard.
who?
Dwight Howard, Superman.
Who? No, what team?
Houston.
No, man. Dwight Howard hadn't been in Houston for a while. He's with. We talked about it once. Dwight Howard went to the Nets, and we're like, well, that's where careers go to die.
Yeah.
But somehow he ended up, and I didn't research it, but somehow he ended up in Washington with the Wizards, with John Wall and Bradley Beal.
Good team up.
I still don't quite know how that happened.
That might be the
But
best
that
backcourt.
happened really low key because I'm always looking at news stories and sports and this, and all of a sudden I just see this quote of Wall happy with his new teammate Dwight Howard, and I'm like, what? How'd that happen? So they actually have a legit big man. I mean, they had Gortat and they traded him away, but now they have Dwight Howard, so we'll see how that plays out. So far, Dwight Howard's not been a good teammate with anybody. That's why he just keeps getting bounced around. But
Well, he was one of the greatest defensive players of all time, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
But you want to talk about a great backcourt. I mean, John Wall, Bradley Beal.
That's why I was saying
That's pretty solid.
That's got to be the best in the league, right?
Yeah. So
Maybe the Celtics.
So you give Washington a puncher's shot, I guess, in the East. I mean, the Celtics are the team, but Washington's at least interesting now. They're in the mix, I guess. So they don't have great wing players, but I mean, you see how it plays out. I don't know. So 48. Oh my goodness. The cerveza está aquí. Oh, thank you.
For those of you who don't speak Canadian, that means
thank you very much.
That's what that means. Muchas groceries.
Oh man. So I would say 48.5. Just to make a quick throw my random opinion out there. I would say the Lakers will be under. I'll say they go under the 48.5. Not by a ton, but I think they go under.
46, 45.
Yeah. Well, remember when this has been shows ago, but I picked the Lakers to finish 6th in the West. And so I feel like if I pick them to go above 48 wins, they're not going to finish 6th. In the West, they're going to be a really high seed. So I got to be consistent here.
Agreed. If you go, over, even if it's slightly over 500 in the West, you should be able to get into the playoffs. If you win 42, 43 games.
Well, teams are going to be, there's times where they do play teams from the East, but, some of the reality, too, is they're going to be facing off with each other night after night, and there's a lot of great
Beating
teams.
the shit out of each other.
Right.
I'm going to say just...
So you legit have 10 really good teams in the West right now. 10 playoff caliber teams. Something's got to give.
From top
They're
to bottom.
all facing each other. Something's got to give there. So, so I say the Lakers would go under a 48.5. If I was in Vegas and putting money down, that's what I would do. So, that's just
I'm going to say over, just to be devil's advocate.
Okay.
I may be totally wrong, but I could totally see Bronny giving them 50 wins.
His son's not playing for him. So, not yet anyway.
I could see LeBron taking them to 50 wins.
Okay. That's really putting a lot on one guy. Anyway, we've talked about the Lakers before. You got the whole Lonzo Ball point guard. You brought in Rajon Rondo point guard. What's going to give here? You're going to go with the young guy who everybody agrees has a really ugly looking shot that can't be fixed and has decent vision, is not a great defensive player, and they're questioning his leadership. There's the whole dad thing with the LeVar crazy guy, and then you have Rondo.
Why don't you just put him at the 2?
And then you got Rondo, who is not going to accept a backup role.
Who's got a ring.
Point guard. But he's also,
2 rings.
at times he's really good, at times he's not, right? So even just that dynamic alone is going to be, how's this going to deal with the team? How's this really young coach, Luke Walton, going to manage this? Oh, yeah. You didn't know he was coaching them?
No.
He coached them last year. And there was already the issues with the LeVar Ball thing, and he's calling out Luke Walton.
Wait, Luke Walton, he was an assistant for Steve Kerr at Golden State.
That's why he got hired as head coach, was because
he did such a good job.
Well, there was a time where Steve Kerr took some time off, and during that time frame, Luke went like this amazing record with the Warriors. But come on, it's kind of fool's gold. You've already got the top.
Two of the 3 or 4 best basketball players in the world.
See, I don't always agree to the status of you're the greatest of this just because you have all this. Sometimes the best coaches are the ones that pull something out of nothing. Like your Bill Snyders of the world that take a Kansas State program that's just as far down in the cellar in the NCAA that can possibly ever be and bring it up to this nationally prominent. They haven't won any national championships, but
they were close.
But you bring it up to this nationally prominent. You're in the mix. People actually know who you are now.
Winning
type
championships.
Of program. That's. To me, that's what that's a coach that really has ability and skill, And I mean, and I
And
know
he just got signed onto a 5-year deal, by the way.
sometimes it does take us. I understand it takes us sometimes a different set of skills. Like if you have a team that's already good, a lot of times it's more about. It's not so much about X's and O's. It's about managing personalities and keeping people cohesive because you got too many egos in the room. You know,
Like Phil Jackson was
I
able
want
to
the
do.
ball. I want the ball. I want the ball. I want this. I want, and you have to manage that so that they can actually go and play the game and win. So I get that, but to each their own.
That's why Phil Jackson was so good.
But we'll see how Luke does with this scenario, and you wonder if it's an unfair proposition for him, but especially being so young. But
He's like my age or maybe a little bit older.
yeah,
Like he might be your
he's
age.
in his 30s. He's in his 30s.
Well,
So-
you mentioned Coach Snyder. Did you see that he got signed to a 5-year deal?
Yeah, he got.
He's
the
like
extension.
fucking 80 years old.
Yeah, they're bronzing him right now. Like they're in the process of bronzing him.
The formaldehyde and
Yeah, so that as he's just in his final days, he immediately goes into statue form, and so right there in front of the campus, the house that Snyder built. Anyway, but yeah. So we were discussing Wilt Chamberlain and just off air. I know people listening. Like, when were you talking about Wilt Chamberlain? We're talking about Wilt Chamberlain, and he, of course, way back in the day, he said, "Hey, I've had sex with over 20,000 women," and it just got us thinking, like, how do you know that? Like, you seem really supremely confident about that, and I know that women throw themselves at athletes and stuff, but I'm just wondering, did he keep a ticker? Did he
one of those clickers that
Right. I mean, this is back before a whole lot of technology. So how are you keeping score? Well, I'm at my 10,000th. Do balloons pop up when you hit your 10,000th chick?
Well, and what constitutes being with a woman? Like you just stuck your cock into her mouth once, and then like, well, that's one.
Yeah, I don't know what his standard was. I don't know if it was just like, I don't know if it was bang, bang, that's a third. Bang, bang, I don't know. Like if there was a train, does a train count?
Probably. But what about repeats?
I don't think you have time for repeats.
Well, I mean, like, do you get to count, like, if you had sex with
No, 'cause he's
girl
saying
number 3 or whatever?
No,
then-
because you're saying it's 20,000 women. You don't. No. You don't say count that as multiple women. That's the same woman. I mean, you.
Well, but if he had sex with over 20,000 women, there's a good possibility that he banged some of them a few different times and just forgot them. That's a lot of women. How are you going to keep track of that many different faces? Be like, oh, wait a minute, go away. You're not counting on my clicker because I already slung my yogurt on your face. So,
Well, my gosh. Wow. Well, I'm wondering, like, did he do like a journal? Did he do like journal writing? Like, dear diary, today I was with Sherry and Carrie, Sterry. Maybe he didn't rhyme all of his conquests, but
well, he could be like Barney Stinson, and he's like keeps a map of everybody. He wants to make sure he has sex with one chick from each country around the world.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, or does he have like, how like in prison, you carve in notches.
Yeah.
Was that how he kept his total? Like
Just
he would have
tally
a
it.
carve in.
Fucking tally it up.
Like a woman comes over and she's like, "Oh wow, that's weird. What is that?" He's like, "That's how many points I've scored, baby, in the NBA." She's just totally dumb to the fact, like, no, I'm the okay. And did the 20,000th woman get like a special prize
Yeah, you get like a tennis bracelet or some shit.
or like disease? I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he sets her up with like a clinic visit, and he's like, that one's on the house, baby.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know, 20,000, and just the logistics of it because it'd be difficult if it's one at a time. Well, I mean, you know what I mean, like
Time-wise.
right. If I'm going to go on a date and I'm going to go out with this girl,
I'm gonna go on a
and
date.
then I'm going to go on a date and go out with this girl. You know what I'm saying? Like there almost needs to be like some harem action going on in order to fulfill just the numbers.
Dude,
just
he needs a secretary just to crunch the numbers and like, all right, boss, you're almost up to your quota this week.
Oh, that is genius! Like a stenographer, like like in court, they type everything that you say, but you could have like a live, like, okay, he inserted into Sherry. I don't know why I keep coming up with the name Sherry. I don't know. I don't even know a girl named Sherry.
Are you?
Maybe that's why.
Are
it's
you
just
thinking
this
of my
unknown?
Well, you're doing a lot of airy names, so
Yeah.
like, are you thinking of my ex-wife Carrie?
No,
No.
just Sherry for some reason.
Sherry O'Terry?
I don't even know a Sherry. But anyway, maybe that's what it is. It's just like, hey, a random name.
I know a Sherry, and she's delicious.
Oh my goodness. So I was just
Alcoholic
wondering
beverage.
about the numbers. People can listen, they can talk about it. Maybe they know. Maybe there's video.
Yes, please call in, caller, if
Please
you know.
call in. Yeah, this is Wilt and I'm pissed. Wait a minute, I thought you were dead. Yeah, I was until y'all started talking. Shoot. So
Apparently, he has possessed the brain and body and characteristics of Mr. T, but thank you for calling in, Will.
that was the popular thing to do at the time. Mr. T was big,
Yeah.
Yeah, I pity the fool that.
I pity the fool that
Yeah, dear diary.
has less than 20,000 bitches.
Oh my gosh.
Man, and just like, imagine, like, because that dude was like fucking 7 foot, right?
Yes.
So,
I'm sure he had big hands.
yeah.
Right.
So he'd just like pick her up with one hand and
Wow.
use her. Never mind.
So
He was not buying any of the masturbation lube.
no, he was not. Nope. So this week, the thing has been out with Hard Knocks. I don't know if you've seen it. It's HBO. I don't have HBO. I don't know if I should. Well, yeah, who cares? I don't have HBO. But,
I think you do that Fire Stick thing, and
well, no, I mean, I'm able to look. Sometimes they end up posting things up a little bit later on YouTube and different deals. But there's been, this year is the year, the team that Hard Knocks is following is the Cleveland Browns. And so right now you've got the Fox thing I talked about before with All the Way Up with Baker Mayfield. So you've got the Fox crew following around Baker Mayfield. You've got Hard Knocks following the Cleveland Browns, which of course specifically a lot of times is following Baker Mayfield too. I mean, the Browns, I feel like, are getting so much exposure in this offseason. And
Baker's like, you're welcome.
and I know there's like some bias because we're University of Oklahoma Sooner fans. But I know it's more than that. It does seem like the Browns are just getting a booty ton of publicity. The Browns don't normally get this much.
That's funny that you said the word Browns and booty in the same sentence.
Oh, yeah. Well, take it to the Super Bowl, huh?
Yeah.
But just, yeah, a couple of things that were noted from the show this past time was just the complexity of the coaches. Hugh Jackson right now, a lot of people believe he's fighting for his coaching life right now, but Hugh Jackson's just a real friendly coach, player-friendly type coach. Has been a quarterback guru and really good with offense and stuff like that. But they've got the offensive guy Todd Haley, who was with your Kansas City Chiefs, and they've also got
Todd Haley, man.
defensive
Didn't
coordinator.
he play for the Cowboys too?
Maybe. No, I don't know. And then they've got Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator. These are all big, very big personalities. If you don't remember Greg Williams, he was the defensive
Carolina
coordinator
Panthers.
for them. He was also the defensive coordinator for the New Orleans Saints back when they won the Super Bowl. And there was
the guy,
the Bounty Gate.
The bounty, yeah.
On, Brett Favre and a whole lot of others. But it was made popular because of them taking out Brett Favre in the NFC Championship keeping the Vikings from going to the Super
And
Bowl.
one of our Sooners was playing for that defense.
Mr.
Ingram.
Yeah, Mr. Ingram. So, anyway, so there's just this weird connection with the coaches. You see some major personalities, and you just kind of see like, well, this could be something that could kind of implode. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But another big thing, Jarvis Landry, who they pulled from the Miami Dolphins, who's been a big-time receiver. He's gotten a lot of receptions, just not a lot of touchdowns. For any of you guys doing fantasy out there, you probably know that. But Jarvis has now basically become the leader in the locker room, the leader for the receivers, and he has like this. He's talking to the other receivers who he has felt like has not been practicing hard enough or whatever.
It
And
better not be Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills isn't with them.
Oh, we talked.
He's with the
about that.
Dolphins.
Oh, that's who I was talking about. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the Browns.
Oh, okay.
Jarvis Landry came from the Dolphins. He's now with the Browns.
I thought you were saying when he was with the Dolphins,
No.
he was like the
no,
leader.
this was from Hard Knocks, and he's getting on them and really kind of coming out looking good. Like, yeah, Jarvis, get him. You know, we've got to win this season. We gotta be professionals. And anyway, so an interesting show. It's interesting to me. So if you ever get an opportunity, you can kind of pull up some stuff on YouTube or whatever. But Cleveland Browns, a lot of press. I don't know. I'm still
kind of excited, unfortunately.
I still do think good things with the Browns. And I know we did our preview, and I picked them to do better than the Bengals and got some weird looks and picked them to do. I really do think that they are going to be improved. They look improved on defense, and I can easily transition that into some of the preseason stuff that has happened this week. We had our first full week of preseason games this week. The
Baker
Browns
looks good.
The Browns took on the Giants. The Browns, of course, got Mayfield. The Giants got Saquon Barkley. So that's your number 1 pick and your number 2 pick playing in the first preseason game, and both really looked good.
I didn't see anything about Barkley, but I saw Baker's.
Barkley
like,
didn't
every
run
play.
much, but I believe it was either his very first run or something like that. He goes in, bounces out, almost kind of a Barry Sanders style, real agile, bounces out and goes for a 39-yard run and gets kind of pushed out of bounds type of play.
He didn't score, though.
Looked really good. I mean, he is fast, had great breakaway speed, and, of course, the quickness. So Saquon's going to be, as far as rookies, somebody definitely for the radar you want to keep your eye on. He's going to be a big deal for them this year for the Giants.
And the Giants might be better than people are, even myself included. The Giants might be better than people are expecting.
They could be, but they've still got issues. I mean, Eli is Eli. The O-line is still not very good. I mean, even in that moment with Saquon, he had to make a play that wasn't all really there. Like, the line didn't block that great. He just made it happen because he bounced to the outside.
Like Barry Sanders
Yeah,
used to
that's
do.
why I made that little bit of a comparison there, because it wasn't because the O-line blocked so great for him. It was just he made the play, which is which looks great for him, but at the same time, you could still see, well, maybe the Giants
even
struggle blocking.
Even without a good offensive line, that's going to take away pressure away from Eli so they can do their play actions and stuff like that.
Yeah, they'll be good.
They've still got the receiver core.
Yes, they do. They'll be really, really good.
I don't know how good their defense is, but
yeah. Now, the Browns, on the flip side, the Browns started off, of course, I think it's just assumed at this point that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starting quarterback for the Browns, who came over from Buffalo. And he started off, his series, he did great. He was like 5 of 5.
Oh, wow.
90 yards or whatever. Looked seamless, looked really good, like a veteran quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he is. He's really good. There's
primed
nothing
and
wrong
ready
with
to go.
Tyrod. You just know that in the back of people's minds, you just know that you've got Baker Mayfield. This is the guy you gave him the money to, and you can have him back up for a little while, but there's only so long that you can do that. So it's in a way, it's a good problem to have, but it is nonetheless a problem the Browns are going to have.
5 or 6 games into the season, the fans will be like going nuts. They'll be foaming at the mouth.
Well, it depends. If they're winning with Tyrod, the fans are. I mean, look, Baker's got great charisma, and the fan base, including ourselves, would love to see him out there. But if you're winning cures all. If you're the winning guy, the fans are going to be like, no, don't jack with this formula. It's kind of like the Vikings with Case Keenum last year. We know that Case Keenum really is what he's always been, but last year they're winning, and it's like, don't mess with that. Just like the year the Broncos started all of a sudden winning with Tebow at quarterback. You know he's not a great quarterback. You know he's not a starting quarterback. Hell, he's probably not even a backup, but somehow they're finding ways to now win with him instead of the other guys. So it's like, but the defense was there with the other quarterbacks. Why weren't they winning then, right?
True.
And so you're just like, no, don't mess with that because we're riding this, And so to be the same way with Tyrod, if they're winning, it's looking pretty good. He'll be out there the whole time.
I think I want to say that I may be wrong on this, but it seems like the footage I was watching with Baker that the commentators had said, because I just went on the just like straight up Baker Mayfield highlights where it just showed all of his plays, even the incomplete passes, all that stuff. But I think they had said that he is the highest selling jersey in the NFL right now.
I can believe that.
I mean, at first,
And here in Oklahoma City, I will say, just even from my work, I'm starting to see a whole lot of specifically Cleveland Brown hats being worn all of a sudden. Just weird, these Browns fans are sprouting out from nowhere.
Yeah.
Bandwagon, which I can't make fun of bandwagon. I'm like the ultimate bandwagon guy in NFL. I mean, I admit it, I don't have a team. I mean, I'm surprised I'm not wearing a Browns hat right now. I'm really rooting for Mayfield to do well.
I would like to get a Mayfield jersey. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Like the dark ones, not the white ones. They look gay.
Oh, yeah, the white Browns jersey. I mean, the Browns color stuff just never looks great. You know?
Yeah, they're called the Browns, but orange is their number one color.
Well, you always have to have a secondary color. You can't go all brown.
No.
I mean, that just looks like a shit uniform.
Once you go brown, you never come down.
Hashtag shit uniform. No. I mean, you have to have a secondary color. You can't just go brown. And then you go with the orange, and I don't know. But
still better looking than the Redskins colors.
No, that's not true.
That Redskins red is so grotesque.
You think so?
Yes.
Man.
It's almost like a Texas A&M maroon or whatever.
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but the Browns, I think hands down it's much worse color than the Redskins colors.
Well, I like the Browns orange color. I think that's pretty.
The orange helmets are kind of cool in a way because it's so traditional. It's so...
And they don't have a logo.
We didn't really jack with it. It's just old school,
like leather helmet type of shit.
Right. So to me, in a way, that's kind of cool. I can go with that. But if you're the Browns, you don't really have a mascot.
It's the
right?
fucking dog.
You can't put a logo. Like, what do you put? They have to just put the word Brown.
Like, is there something about the city of Cleveland that, is that where they came up with the Browns name?
No, it's for, the legendary coach Paul Brown.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what were they before that?
Back in the day, like the 40s and 50s when the
AFL.
When they were actually good. Right? When they were winning titles and stuff. It was under Paul Brown. And then, of course, they get arguably the greatest running back of all time, Jim Brown. Kind of coincidence on that one, but I mean they're already the Browns when Jim Brown gets there, but it works.
I've got a bigger coincidence.
Okay.
What was his name? Sean Bradley.
Okay.
He was 7'6", and he played for the 76ers, and I'm pretty sure his jersey number was 76.
No. Was it? No.
I think so.
All right. Google it up.
Seriously.
While you Google it up. While you're Googling, I'll mention a couple of other mentionables from preseason football. The Jets, when we did our preview for the Jets, and this is my fault, this is why we say Two Idiots Talk Sports. The entire time when we were previewing and talking about the Jets, I'm talking about Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback. It's like, and he's there. He is there and fighting for a quarterback spot. I didn't once even bring up their draft pick, who's everybody's consensus this is going to be the pro guy, Sam Darnold. out of USC.
I was right. I was right, by the way.
What's that?
His jersey number, it was 76.
It was 76. Very good. So I didn't even think about bring up that Sam Darnold might be in the mix, and sure enough, in the preseason game, Bridgewater, of course, looked good, but Sam Darnold comes out and looks really good too. And I'm sorry, if they both look really good, it's similar to the Cleveland situation, but I feel like the Jets will be quick to go to Sam Darnold. I think they'll be quicker to go to Sam Darnold than the Browns would be to go to Mayfield at this point. Because Bridgewater's not as... I mean, he's a veteran, but he's not right there with Tyrod Taylor, I feel. So potentially Sam Darnold will most likely start for the Jets, and he's looking so far like he's looking really good for them. And they actually have a little higher hopes than I may have given them credit for the season. They may actually finish... I don't know. They may end up finishing second in the East. We'll see. Because the Dolphins are just a hot mess right now. They were a playoff team last year, barely, but they are a hot mess. And now with all this NFL, the kneeling and how the Dolphins came out and they've just screwed all that up. I mean, I don't know. They seem like in turmoil. The Bills just seem like they just suck, like they're going downhill. Jets might actually end up finishing second in that dang division, man.
Like at 6-10 or something.
Maybe even higher. They might go. Who knows? I mean, they may go 7-9, 8-8. I mean,
I seriously doubt they'll go 8-8.
They could. I mean,
maybe 7-9.
They were pretty sucky last year, so their schedule is going to be fairly favorable. And the rest of the division is really not doing great right now. The major thing, dang it, it's like I keep saying major, and now you're like, I've got to salute every time. But the Patriots, obviously the Patriots are there, but other than the Patriots, the Jets don't have that difficult of a schedule. I could conceive that they would go 8-8, 9-7, and be the number 2 team. Just like the Bills did last year. They weren't great, but somebody's got to win the game. Somebody's got to become 9-7 and be the second seed, or the second team in the division anyway. But I feel like the Jets might be that team this year.
Man, maybe. I miss that old Jets team, and the Dolphins did it too when they would run the Wildcat. And it was so amazing and fun when the Jets had Brad Smith, the quarterback from Missouri, that... he was a receiver in the NFL. Yeah. And so you run the Wildcat with him. It's like you're not even making it really a Wildcat because it was a college quarterback.
Right. It seemed so gimmicky, though. It was just like we've given up on the fact of throwing the ball. Here, we're just going to the Wildcats. I mean, you just kind of give up at that point. Or the fun Jets history, the butt fumble. That's always in folklore. You got to feel for the Jets, man, the fan base, man. It'd be nice to see them come back and have a decent year.
Dirty Zach Sanchez.
Yes. Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez. Wait, Zach Sanchez. Oh, that was the OU football player.
One thing I picked up as a note from preseason football, because there's a lot of, their teams aren't really doing too much. They're just trying to figure out players they're going to cut and shit. So there's only so much intrigue in preseason football, especially week 1.
They don't have to make cuts every week, though. I don't think. I think after the third game.
Yeah, you have certain dates where you make a certain amount of cuts to this certain level,
and then you have to get down to
55. It's kind of this weeding process. Speaking of weeding. That was one of my notes, was Houston, that Deshaun Watson is their starting quarterback. I did not know that their backup is Brandon Weeden.
I saw that the other day.
I did not know that. I didn't even know he was still in the league, to be honest.
I thought he retired and gave up.
So that was Oklahoma State in the house there. So I didn't realize Brandon Weeden was still even playing football, but he's a backup with the Houston Texans.
Not just Oklahoma State, but an actual Oklahoman, because he went to Edmond Santa Fe.
Yeah, something like that. And then, of course, the return of Andrew Luck with the Indianapolis Colts was intriguing just because he's had so much time off from injury, and there's been speculation, is he back to 100% health? He even admitted he considered walking away from football during that time frame, just just it's just weird, the level of doubt that kind of creeps in sometimes when there's that much time in between. But now he's feeling good. He feels better. He's glad he's been hit now. And
get that out of the way.
Some people don't understand that, but it does make sense. If you have been significantly injured and you've gone a long time without doing the thing, it's just like, man, I need to know that I'm not fragile. I need to know that I can now keep doing what I've been doing. I'm gonna be just fine.
I'm not Mr. Glass.
Exactly. And so it looks like he's going to be healthy. He'll be all right. It's the rest of the Colts that you have to worry about. But yeah, at least they've got Andrew Luck back, which will make them interesting and at least somewhat competitive. So that's kind of cool for them.
Competitive in a shitty league.
Yeah, not shitty. I mean, that division's the tough division. I mean, we talked about that. That's the tough division in the AFC right now. You've got
Titans.
The Titans, who are under everybody's radar, but they went to the playoffs, and they got the same team, and they're healthy.
And they were looking good, too.
You have the Texans, who are now healthy, and then, of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have an amazing defense, and were really just a play or two away from beating the Patriots and going to the Super Bowl. That's a tough division. So I wouldn't call it a crappy division, crappy league. Oh, no. Okay. So another thing that came out this week was the NCAA has reacted to, there was the big scandal with players signing on with shoe companies and agents and all these things, and coaches are getting fired from these universities. Oklahoma State had an assistant or somebody involved, but different schools throughout the country. It was even the FBI was starting to get involved. It was kind of becoming this big thing. Well, the NCAA has now responded with kind of a rules change, and some of it you can see some positive things that are moving in the right direction. Some of it, you almost have to wait and see how it plays out. But essentially what they're doing is they're trying to get it to where it's a little bit friendlier. It's not so rigid, where kids that are seniors in high school can now get agents if they are deemed like players that are going to go pro. Like that they're the best of the best.
Adrian Peterson's going to go pro, and it's just kind of a preliminary thing that you have to go do 2 years in college.
Yeah, because they're going to eliminate the one and done, and so that's something they've been focused on fixing. And so now high school seniors will be able to have agents if they are deemed like at the top of the top, the best of the best basketball players.
Who's going to decide that?
I've got the answer for you, because that's the question that pops up. USA Basketball, which is its own
entity.
Foundation. Yeah, it's its own entity. But the thing is, they didn't know. This was kind of surprisingly dropped on their lap.
This is USA Basketball, as in the Olympic.
Yeah, exactly.
Committee people.
Right. And so this has been dropped on their lap because they didn't know this was coming. And it's like, well, these guys are going to be able to get agents, and how will we determine that? USA Basketball will choose who the players are eligible, and they're like, we're going to do what?
Like, what'd you just come up and walk up to me and say?
Right. And so the weird part, the spot that it puts them in, they've already come out and they've questioned whether they even have the infrastructure to manage this. And there is an obvious.
You're only doing shit every 4 years.
Well, they're involved in certain things, but what that may mean, you say, well, they only do shit for only 4 years, but that may mean they don't have a whole lot of staff because of that. But now you're required to know who the very top, I don't know how many players, but you need to know and declare who are the top so many players that are allowed to have agents, and you're now the judge and jury on that. They're sitting here going, well, how do we have the manpower to even go figure that out? We would have to go watch basketball players all over the country here in the,
You'd have to scout them.
Exactly. So that takes quite a bit. Now you got to hire some people, I guess. But the other thing that's kind of a problem for them is right now their major sponsor is Nike. So right now these days we know it's all about the shoe deals. That was part of the concern, the FBI thing. Kids were signing on or getting hired on by shoe companies. Well, if USA Basketball is the entity that's choosing the players and their sponsor is Nike, that leaves out.
That's called a.
But what's funny is USA Basketball is the one who has brought this up. Like even they are saying, wait a minute. You can tell that it's just kind of been thrust into them because they're like, wait a minute, hang on. Hang on. We're determining who the players are.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah, right. Our sponsor is Nike. What about Adidas? What about Reebok and Under Armour and Puma and One
Puma.
and the Shaq shoe and the
fucking Puma
and Converse and British Knights and any other brand I can come up.
We're going deep on this shit.
But obviously it leaves USA Basketball saying, this leaves these other companies out. This is a conflict of interest. So anyway, hopefully they would manage and figure out some of these details because, yeah, there's some
That's
obvious,
what they got to do now.
There's some obvious question marks there. Yeah, it's just been thrust upon them like this is going to happen. Now, a good thing that is a part of it is, and again, we'll see how it plays out, but the NCAA is committed to doing extended scholarships. So what that means is if a player commits to a school, like they say, I'm going to go to Duke, I don't know, but then they have an agent, and the agent says, they go through this process and they're going to go to the draft, but then they decide, no, I guess my stock isn't really that high. I wouldn't do too well. I'm going to go ahead and go to college. They would be able to do that. But they've shortened the time frame. You only have, it's 4 days. Like if you go to the draft combine and you come to the light bulb goes off and you realize I'm not going to be that great in this draft, you only have 4 days to make that decision. So that's not a whole lot of time.
4 days after the entire combine is complete?
Right.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
But 4 days is, it's kind of a life decision you're making.
Yeah,
right
but
there.
if you're a grown-ass man or trying to be, then you better figure it out.
What I meant to say on the extended scholarships, this is where I kind of got lost, but let's say you decide, screw that, I'm going pro, and it just doesn't work out. You Greg Oden the shit out of it. You now can go back and you're now given a free ride to get your degree through the college that you initially chose, but only that college. But they are required to pay for your entire education. See, like right now, if you or let's say, okay, before the one and done rule, let's say you're like, screw that, I'm the next Kobe. And it turns out you're not even close to Kobe. You're Kobe's water boy. Now, before it'd be like, well, okay, I'll go to school and get my degree. Well, shit out of luck. Sorry, you gotta pay just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, now you can actually go through and get your education. I don't know how many people would actually do that. I don't know how many people that actually helps, but in idea, in theory, it's a good thing.
If you're wise as a young man, and I guess, and as a young woman, I guess.
Yeah,
that's kind of a joke because we're WNBA. Anyways, but if you're wise as a young person and you listen to good mentors, your parents, coaches at high school or whatever, hopefully you'll get that to where you'll make the right decisions. But, you never know. Kids are stupid.
No, you don't. You never know.
This is why we should hate kids.
But at least the opportunity is available. You can't say, I didn't have the opportunity. It's there. If you didn't take it, well, yeah, you're a complete moron.
That's your fault.
Exactly.
Deal with it.
It's at least there. So, Creed 2. I feel like this is sport, but Creed 2 comes out November 21st.
Well, everyone treats Rocky like he's a real person. You know, they've got a fucking Rocky statue in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Like-
dude's a hero.
It's like, hello, this is a fake person.
Now, it's Michael B. Jordan, who I think is a great actor, by the way. He's really shown some chops. I thought he was great in Black Panther.
He was amazing in Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he was great as Adonis Creed. He's the son of Apollo Creed, of course, in the first Creed movie, which kind of still goes with the formula. And now this time he's fighting Drago's son. And we don't even have his name yet, but it's, Ivan Drago, I must break you.
Yeah.
But his son, he's going to be fighting him for whatever reason. I guess we're still, maybe they're delusional and they think we're still in the Cold War.
So wait a minute. So what about the 52-year-old woman, the 52-year-old woman that gave birth to the child? So like
Yes.
So Creed 7 or whatever, is that going to be like her baby, like fighting Apollo Creed's grandson?
See, I wonder when it's going to end. Maybe when it stops making money, but right now it's still making money. I did look up the stats.
Was this the 7th Rocky film?
Yeah, because you have you have 6 Rocky movies. Yeah,
Or no, wait, this would
yeah,
be
you
the
have
8th.
6 Rocky movies because you had 5 where he fought Tommy, the Morrison AIDS guy, and Tommy Gunn, yeah. He fights Tommy Gunn in 5, and then he does just it's not Rocky 6, it's just Rocky
Rocky.
where he's old. And then he does Creed, which would be the 7th one. This is actually the 8th
one.
installment of this
That
whole
franchise.
series. Yeah, exactly. So
Was there a Rocky Balboa in there or something?
it seems like maybe that was it. Maybe was it Rocky
Instead
or
of Rocky,
Balboa?
it was Rocky Balboa, I think. Or maybe it was just Balboa.
Something like that. But yeah, he's old.
Son
and-
of a bitch.
Yeah, look it up. Get on the Google engine.
Google it up.
Google it up. Yo, Google.
Rocky movies.
Rocky what?
Yo, Google Rocky movies. All right.
So Creed made 170 million, and I think we talked about this before, but Creed made 170 million worldwide, and this is the power of this day and age.
And they didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on like
Their
special
budget,
effects and
their,
shit.
Their budget was a $35 million budget, and that's where things have gone in the world now. Like with the movie making, it's in the worldwide numbers. Because if it made 170 worldwide, I would say it probably made at least maybe half that in the U.S. I think that's safe to say, without seeing the numbers. But it's just like, my God. So how many more are they going to make? Well, whenever this total comes down, that's when they're going to stop making it. It's just like, you go worldwide, and that's where the money is. People just keep watching this stuff. What's funny to me about it is, if you think about it in real day stuff, like, don't these are boxers. These guys train, and yet they just keep taking so many punches to the face. It's unreal. It's absurd. And I know it's for theatrics, but damn it. Would you learn how to block? I thought boxers were able to actually defend.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just like, it's just, it's like Rocky keeps slamming his face into the wall, and you're like, dude!
It hurts when you do that.
Block for once. His face looks like ground meat, ground beef or whatever in the first one.
So I
Just got it, Mick.
So talking about how much people, especially in Philadelphia, love him and treasure him and treat him like he's a real person.
Yes.
So I look up the Wikipedia for Rocky Balboa, and it's got his stats, his weight, his height. He was born in Philadelphia in 1945, but it has his boxing record, dude.
Yeah.
Total fights 81, wins 57, 51 by KO, and 23 losses and 1 draw. Like, do most boxers even have that many matches?
80 is a lot.
That's a lot of fucking matches.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad Ali, I think he had like 40.
Yeah. Floyd Mayweather, 50.
Yeah, well, skinny dudes, they can go forever.
That's what she said.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's biography, personal life, boxing style, honors, merchandising.
Yeah. That's just the weird deal to me. It's not even like real boxing. I know it's a movie, but dang, can nobody block in boxing or something? I don't get it, man. You just keep taking shots. And you would think in this day and age, somebody would eventually stop the damn fight. I mean, the guy looks half dead, you know. I think even in the first Rocky, it's like, do I need to throw in the towel? Like, they don't even give you that opportunity anymore, man. There ain't no, do you throw in the towel? The referee says no. This is happening. You don't get to fight through this.
Rocky, 1976, Rocky 2, 79, 3, 82, 4, 85, 5, 1990, and then Rocky Balboa, 2006. And then Creed, 2015, Creed 2, 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. A lot of movies.
So they're doing them about, 3, 4, 5 years apart.
Man. So, have you seen that Madden 19 has come out?
Yeah, that usually comes out in August. Well, actually, I think it comes out in July. I think it was I can't remember back in... The college football game would come out in July, and then then Madden would come out in August, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's been so long on the college game, though, man. I don't even...
I own the second to last one that was made.
Really?
Yeah, 2000, I think it's 12. Yeah, 13 was the last one that they made for the college football stuff. Because they're whining because they're not getting paid, and, go have sex with a tree. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, that was Ed O'Bannon. That was the part of that lawsuit. They're still fighting for that too, man. That's like the cliche thing, and I still hate the comparisons to the whole. They keep calling it like slavery, with the whole how the NCAA is. How the colleges are basically treating the athletes and this and that. And
and that's so sad that they get this free, $100,000 scholarship to have a free ride their entire... Man, go ask regular college students who have to go to school full-time and work a part-time or full-time job even.
Right.
And just let them go beat the shit out of all these whiners.
And I get it. I get that the NCAA, and I know that these colleges and stuff, some of them make a lot of money. Some of them don't. I mean, people don't think about things like that. Not all of them are created equal. They don't all make money.
It's to help pay for your fucking scholarships.
But, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. But, because there are such things as internships, you almost view this as kind of like an internship of football in a way. But
that's true.
You had
the BS and from OU, those players. I think Bomar was part of it.
Yeah, Bomar with the dealership.
Big Red Sports and Imports, and they were getting paid from them, but they never actually did any work. Right. Yeah. Just to say, hey, we have Rhett Bomar and this other dude, like offensive lineman, I think.
I just don't like, whatever side people are on, pay the athletes, don't pay the athletes. I much so dislike the comparison to slavery because in a way I really feel like it belittles slavery.
Yeah, it disrespects the ones that actually had to go through that.
Because I mean, actual slavery, the majority of them were not taken well care of at all. They were just thought of as nothing. And I mean, they had just
like dogs.
They had no amenities, and I mean, it was just ridiculous the way they were treated. We're talking, these athletes are very, for the most part, I mean, now there's the University of Maryland stuff that's just come out, so we see that there is a lot of hazing, and that's the normal culture. Yeah. So we know that that's a culture as far as that is concerned. It's not just Maryland. We know that. But
just these other places haven't gotten caught yet.
But to sit there and put it on this whole, to compare it to slavery because they don't make money.
That's ridiculous.
I feel like that is absurd. It's like hyperbole. It's just, It is ridiculous, and I
Hyperbole
think,
or whatever
and I
color
think
you
it's
like.
I think it's ignorance, and I think it's belittling slavery. I'll just go back to that. It's like, no, slavery really was bad, but you're having these athletes play and be loved by everybody in the school and fans and all this stuff, and they get the best nutrition and the best trainers, and they get free education, and it's not like they don't get anything out of I don't know.
Yeah, and if they get injured for their career, they have this fucking free education that they have something to fall back on.
And even if they somehow don't finish and get the education, or let's say they do, and there's really no excuse for them not to, because a lot of colleges, I mean, they help the athletes so much pass whatever courses they take, or take a BS. You know, some of them take legit degrees. Some of them will get just BS degrees.
They get fed.
But let's say you're any sort of popular. We know from this area, let's say you finish at the University of Oklahoma, and the fans loved you or whatever, but you weren't good enough to go pro. But you have a little degree in business or whatever BS degree they can get. A lot of people hire people like that on, and they make good money and have careers just because of who they were as a football player for that school. Like, you can go on with Joe Schmo's insurance related to whatever insurance agency, and you're making tons of money because of your name. People are like, yeah, man, I'll get insurance from you guys. Yeah, he's an insurance agent or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you've got Jason White, who's he's the spokesperson for that air conditioning.
Yeah, the Air Comfort Solutions.
Yeah, I'm sure he makes a good
does other
money.
promos and stuff as well. And so that's exactly my point. It's like, don't assume that these guys. Now, there are guys that go down a dark path, but that's because they make a choice to
do that.
Right. But anyway,
Like Jameel Holloway.
Man, we started at Madden 19 and we ended up here.
All right, so talk about Madden 19.
All right, Madden 19 is out, and really, the thing I was going to pull from this was there are seven players that are rated 99, and I wanted to see if you could guess. Let me see if I can. Let's see if you are able to. Let me just see how many of the seven you're able to guess.
Well, and I remember, because you know me, I've played these Madden football games since I guess the early 90s.
That's true.
Maybe the late 80s when they first started. I think they started in 86. But anyways, over the more modern Madden games, they won't give a 100 rating. There was one player that they gave a 100 rating on speed because he was just that much considerably faster than the other fastest players in the entire league.
Who's that?
Devin Hester.
Nice.
So overall, 99.
99.
Oh, shit. Aaron Rodgers.
That is one.
Drew Brees? No, he's probably like a 94 or something. Tom Brady, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to go with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is one of the seven, yes.
All right, so that's 2 out of 7.
Yep.
J.J. Watt?
Surprisingly, no. He is a 98.
All right, Gronkowski?
Nice, good job. That's 3.
Kelsey?
Travis Kelce? No.
Oh, that's right. There's 2 Kelseys. His brother plays too.
But I don't even know what his number is. But he's not there.
I think Kelsey's 82. Anyways, okay. So let's see.
Woo! I mean, thank you.
No salt.
Yes.
This one.
He's allergic.
No salt. No salt.
What's going on?
Your nephew's in my class. He talked about you.
My nephew? Who? Oh, really?
Yeah.
You want me to get
Who?
Oh my goodness.
He's on my
more
baseball
chips?
team.
Is he really? That's awesome.
Okay.
It's a small world, yeah.
I was like, how do you know?
Your nephew.
Aiden.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
Got a big family. That would be Georgiana's son.
Okay, gotcha.
Her youngest son. Aiden. All right, so you've named 3 of the players on Madden 19 that are 99. We got a guess. You got a guess? He's picked
Rodgers.
Brady, and Gronk. Those three are three.
You said Drew Brees was not. Ooh.
I'll give you one hint.
Oh, Bell.
I'll give you one hint. You've got the only two quarterbacks that are 99s.
Okay, so Bell.
Nope.
Zeke. Shit.
No.
The Steelers.
No running backs.
The Steeler receiver Brown.
Very good. You got four. We'll stop there. But I just thought it was interesting. Von Miller of the Broncos.
Yeah, the best defensive player in the game right now.
And another linebacker, Luke Kuechly, for the Panthers was a 99.
Holy shit.
They really think a lot of him.
He's a good player, but I don't know about giving him a 99. Maybe a 95, 94.
Yeah. And then nobody argues this. He's the best defensive end in the game, Aaron Donald of the Rams, who's now playing next to another great defensive lineman, Ndamukong Suh. So,
see, I don't know that much about him. I wasn't paying that much attention to the Rams last year until, playoff time come around. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
I mean, I'd like to check the standings and stuff, but I probably just didn't really.
Defensive linemen don't get a ton of attention. I mean, they're defensive linemen. You're right?
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Don't you just hate people that play different positions than you?
Yeah, like missionary.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. What? We're talking about football. Sorry. Talking about football.
Well, it's like whenever I see people being racist, I love it. I'm like, man, don't you just hate people because they have different colored skin than you?
Ooh, speaking of racism, people are coming after Kanye because of his support for Trump. It's kind of weird. It's sad for Trump that when Kanye's your big supporter,
endorser,
right? Like it seems like Kanye, who now a lot of times, every time I read, it's yay. Like, do people just call him yay now? Like that's just ridiculous. Like, stop being lazy with the English language. Kanye, it's only 2 syllables. I mean, yay. You just sound.
They're even short syllables.
Man, you're almost going full tard at that point. Like to quote Tropic Thunder, man, you just yay. Like, stop.
Man, you
Stop
was in bathtubs and farting and laughing at the bubbles and shit.
Right? Oh my gosh. But yeah, Kanye is catching some heat for basically supporting Trump, and he feels like he's backed into kind of a corner and fighting with media and stuff. But.
And his alleged run for presidency in 2020.
I don't know. Obviously not.
That's got to be a joke.
If he backs Trump, how would he do that? Trump's obviously running in 2020. So that the whole thing is just dumb. But he does have a new track talking about Kanye. He's got
Yay.
Yay. He's got a new track. And what's interesting about the new track, it's titled capital XTCY, which you could be, ecstasy, right? But in some of the lyrics, he talks about having sick thoughts, and says basically he would smash all of Kim's sister. He'd like to smash all of Kim's sisters in the song.
Like Jerry Stiller says, "Have you smashed any pussy?"
Right. Yeah. So we're talking, Courtney, Chloe, Kendall, and Kylie. And,
for sure, Kendall.
And then he even mentions in the
Kylie.
song, we're going to need a larger hot tub. And he's right.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So I wonder what the family gathering is like on that. Like, now that you've put this out, like, hey, how's everybody? How everybody doing? And they're like, so... You say that you want to smash all of us, huh?
So, you got sick thoughts, I got more of them. You got a sister-in-law you would smash, I got 4 of them. You did something unholy to them pictures, damn, you need to be locked up. Nah, we need a bigger hot tub. Damn, so, come on, Kim. Come on. Say something about that. How you gonna just... everybody knows that all of those girls are smashable.
Well...
freaking Kylie, just gorgeous as fuck.
Just turned 21.
Totally legal. Can even drink and...
Yeah. Not that 21 was the legal age, but
Yeah, but that gets a little bit further away from like, hey, today's my 18th birthday. Cool, you want to go fuck? Like, it gets a little bit of distance there. But, I've always thought, because there was that deal where someone had told Chloe that she was adopted or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't look just like Kim and Courtney.
yeah.
But yeah, Courtney, man, she's gorgeous. Yeah, I would smash her earlobes.
Yeah, they're not twins. I mean, of course, they're going to have different looks. I mean, that's just
How is it that
dumb.
Kylie and Kendall and all of them, how is it that they look like they're her half sisters? Like they have different fathers.
I don't know.
Like
We can always speculate.
They still have like they
Searching.
like
Right.
was Robert Kardashian like they like freeze some of his semen and
There's no telling, man.
Like-
There's no. We only see what they show us, man. What goes on behind the scenes, who knows?
like Caitlyn was like putting like Robert Kardashian's sperm in a turkey baster and shoving it up Chris's vagina and
That's a visual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a holiday special.
I've actually known holiday special. I've actually known
Thanksgiving with the Kardashians.
Actually, dude, I've actually known some lesbians who did that. They found a good male friend of theirs that they trusted, and he squoze off into a turkey baster, and
Yeah.
it worked. They impregnated one of the lesbian chicks.
Really?
It's crazy, dude. But
Yeah. It is crazy.
I mean, I don't know about a turkey baster. Like, couldn't you just use like one of the douche things, the douche squirter?
It may not be as efficient as the baster.
Maybe not.
I don't know. This is a research topic. I've not dived into this, so I don't know.
So it makes me think, like, did they put a condom over the turkey baster and then cut a hole in it?
Oh no,
and
there
then
was
some lube on
no,
it?
they didn't want. Why would you put a condom on the thing?
I don't know, because I've also seen on 1,000 Ways to Die where a chick died because she shaved off like a cucumber and the sharp edges of the cucumber whenever she used it to have a good time. The sharp edges like cut her up inside and she like bled to death.
Yeah. Well,
So did they
if
get
you've
the
taught-
turkey baster that was ribbed for her pleasure, or?
That's a specialized baster. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just for the sake of the turkey.
Come
Wink,
here,
wink.
honey, turkey.
Man, you talk to eBay and medical profession long enough. I mean, if you're close enough to talk about these things, but yeah, the amount of people that they see come in with stuff that's been shoved up their ass and they need help
Oh yeah.
and if I can get somebody on the show, I will, and we will make that a topic. But
Please get this hamster out of my asshole.
because even if you haven't even been around very long, there's still already stories, not just stories, but things that you've witnessed yourself, which says that it happens a lot. It's so amazing.
Guys getting their dicks stuck in the holes at the swimming pool.
Oh.
Getting their dicks stuck in a vacuum cleaner.
No, just like things like kids' toys and shit, like being put, like, it's like, can you get this out of me, please? I'm in pain. I mean, it's just,
Stop shoving marbles up your nose.
I really do feel like that would be a great, and if I can get the interview, I'm going to do it. I'll find somebody, because I know multiple people in the medical in different areas or whatever, but you can talk to any of them, they have stories. And I feel like that's for a different show. That'll be awesome. Good little segment. But
I have a lot of nurses as customers, but I work right next to the hospital. So.
yeah, if any of them are cool, but like, hey, anyway, they may not want to talk about that.
Hey, whenever you're done with your 16-hour shift, you want to come and talk on our show?
Yeah, well, pick a day off. Pick when they've had a little bit of sleep. Also this week, with the NFL Network, Heath Evans was let go. And you're like, who the hell is Heath Evans? Heath Evans actually played fullback in the NFL for a while, but, I mean, we haven't heard of many fullbacks in the NFL forever.
Especially lately, fullbacks are not a thing anymore.
Yeah, but Heath Evans had played for teams like most notably like the Saints. I think that was where he had his longest tenure. But he was
When they like to do that I formation like Minnesota does.
yeah. And he had a job with the NFL Network as giving analysis and doing different things for them. Well, he got let go for accusations of sexual harassment with a wardrobe lady that works there at NFL Network. And essentially, he was sending the dick pics to her. And his case is, there's no question of whether he was sending the dick pics. It's the fact, he says, hey, she was sexting me back. What's the big deal?
She was sending him vag pics?
It doesn't go into detail on what she was sending, but it was saying that she was sexting him back. So that could, we could speculate.
So he probably
speculate.
Initialized it, and then she was like, "Oh well, here's my tits."
Well, I don't think that your foreplay is you go immediately with the dick pic. I think there's got to be some conversation first, right?
Here's some pubes.
Like, oh yeah,
we'll work
hey,
up
you're
to
hot. Hey, you're not so bad yourself. Yeah, wardrobe lady, huh? What do you look like out of that wardrobe? I don't know. I'm not good at that. So
check out my birthday suit.
Yeah, I'm not good at that part. I don't get people out of their wardrobes. They're looking at me and they run. So, but this guy, he felt comfortable enough to go ahead and send a dick pic. And I'm not a big dick pic guy. First off, I'm married. But even, I just think in terms of if I was single.
You don't want to see another dude's dick.
Well, no. Why would
talking
I send it to another dude? What are you talking about?
Oh,
No.
I thought you were talking about maybe you're not a big dick pic receiving pics.
I don't want to be the giver or the receiver in this equation.
You don't want to be the catcher or pitcher.
Right, but I'm just I'm too paranoid. I'm too paranoid to send a dick pic because I'm sorry. That's now. Maybe she's looking at a dick pic right now, but
very possible.
Sorry, there's somebody on their phone, but I just think that once you take the dick pic and send it, it's out there. There's no coming back.
Especially as a celebrity or someone that's
even
known.
Semi-celebrity,
yeah, quasi.
Once you go dick pic, you can't come back. There was the Anthony Weiner thing, which that seemed obvious.
What are the odds that a dude named Wiener gets in trouble for sending dick pics?
I would say you should see that coming, but then that's a whole other,
Maybe that's how his family got that last name in the first place. Back in the 1700s,
Maybe
they just
it
walk
is.
up to someone like, "Hey, you want to see my wiener?"
Yeah, you know what to expect. It would be like Angelina Titty. You're just like, oh, your last name's Titty. I love it.
No, it's French. It's tete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not wiener, it's Weiner.
It's Wiener.
Yeah, it's Wiener. Schnitzel. So anyway, this guy's fighting the NFL Network. He says, hey, this thing's mutual. But NFL Network is saying,
we don't care. You're making us look bad.
This is still a workplace thing. And plus, they're already in some heat because they have some other charges that are being filed. Marshall Falk, who does analysis for them on NFL Network, and
Hall of
Ike
Famer.
Taylor, more notable player names that we actually know who they are, but they're also being linked to some sexual harassment things back at NFL Network.
Ike Taylor played for the Steelers?
No, he played receiver for the
Dolphins.
Giants.
Oh. Yeah.
But he may have played for other teams too. I just remember him with the Giants.
That second Super Bowl?
Yeah. So you got that going on. So NFL Network's they've really got to take the bull by the horns on this one. You can't. I see it for what it is. It's one of those. Okay, I could see that it was probably totally one of those mutual things where they're going back and forth. You're sending the dick pic. She's sending the hey, choose A, B, or C. What can go up here? And sink, swim, or float. And I don't. Never mind. But anyway,
Chance has different board games than the rest of us do.
That's right. I've never heard of shoots and ladders. What is that? But
shits and bladders.
I don't know. Oh my God! But it's a mutual thing. But I see them jumping on this and going, "We don't care. We don't want any backlash."
You see them jumping on the wiener thing.
I feel like they're totally jumping on the wiener quickly, and unfortunately, I'm sure there's pictures and there's Exhibit A and Exhibit B.
This is him excited. This is him after getting out of the pool.
Here's the first dick pic. Here's the second dick pic. Anyway, that's my own deal. I would say, hey, man, just be careful on the whole dick pic deal.
Especially if you're a known person. If you're a somebody, don't be doing that shit.
Yeah, even if you're a regular Joe, man, I just think in this day and age, it's so easy to just, now I've got that picture, I can do whatever I want with that.
Hell yeah, some dick shaming.
And like females, guys could be pretty crazy too, but
the petty shit.
Things go bad. She still has that picture in her phone, and now she can do whatever she wants with that.
You're screwed.
I'm just thinking, it's one of those, if I was a single man, like, hell no, I would not put that out there. Because
even if you're married and you send it to your wife or something, don't be doing that either. And then
something happens. Yeah, I don't know. It's just...
If it's in the cloud, that's dangerous.
Once your dick's in the cloud...
Well, for one thing, you should have a medal because you're that big, but... I like big dicks and I can't lie.
This is kind of a roundabout. This was going to come up on, hey, how was your week? But... man, I just got to... We didn't talk about this last week, but it's been an ongoing deal. But producer Kenneth and I were going to go to a New Orleans Saints game this year in September.
To see them play the Browns, I think?
Were actually, the Browns were going to New Orleans, and so I thought, what a great game. It worked out perfectly as far as the timing and the planning. We were going to go to this game. We get to see the Saints, who are really good right now. We get to see Breeze at the end of his career and see a living legend. We get to see the Browns, potentially Mayfield, but maybe not. But he'll be there. We see the Browns and blah blah blah. And we're in New Orleans, great city. So I felt it was like win, 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 win. Plus, one of the states that's got legalized betting is Mississippi. We could make it through. We could lay down a couple of bucks on something, whatever.
Knock that off the bucket list.
I was reassured multiple times for that week that I was going to get my vacation, which I had held off forever on. And then right at the last second, last weekend, it was denied for work reasons. It wasn't anything to do with me. It was just work reasons, and we'll leave it at that. But essentially it was like, man, I'm really sorry. We got to revoke this vacation. So
that they had already approved, and then they had to unapprove it.
Yeah, they essentially, and it's just one of those things. And of course, I had been reassured so many times that I was going to go that I went ahead and bought the tickets because I found some decent seats at a decent price for where those seats were. And I thought, man, I need to go ahead and hop on this. So I do, and I thought to myself, I may need to buy insurance for these tickets. I did buy the insurance on the tickets.
So I'd never even heard of that. How much is the insurance?
The insurance was $16 and some change per ticket. So it's 33 whatever for total, right?
What does the insurance do? Like if you can't make it, you get all your money back, or
except
for the insurance thing?
You would think, right? I mean, that's what you're buying the insurance for. It's what else could it be for?
Like my ticket got in a car accident. I need full coverage.
It's it's funny you say that because in this process now, I've got to get with the insurance company and I got to get refunded for these tickets, which is now in the hundreds of dollars.
I know that they keep on advertising about that thing where you can go onto it and sell your tickets.
That's an option. But obviously where's the guarantees in that? But you figure you buy the insurance, you get the money back, right? Isn't that what the insurance is for?
Yeah.
But instead, it almost feels like a damn, scam. It feels like a damn scam because you call them, it's a little shifty, they start interrogating you, they're just like, well, what happened? Why can't you go to the thing? And I'm just like, well, I was going to have time off. I was going to have this vacation. It got revoked. I'm going to have to work now.
Like I should really have to explain it to you.
No, seriously.
I paid the fucking insurance.
And it became this interrogation, so it was just kind of weird. And I'm just like, this is... And so I'm getting
like insurance fraud or something on some fucking tickets?
I know. I'm getting noticeably, I'm getting upset. I'm frustrated because I'm just like, dude, I paid the 30... whatever. I paid the insurance it went through, right? So like, what's the problem here? I'm telling you that I can't go. I want my money back. And I'm sure they keep their fee for the insurance. I have no problem with that. But I just want the money for the tickets back. Let's just move on with our lives. But instead, it's this interrogation. Well, we're going to need you to fill out this 5-page claim form.
No shit.
That's step one. Step two is we need a photocopy of the tickets, which is a little more difficult than it sounds. And we need
You have to have a scanner or something where you can.
Right, because the tickets are on my phone because you present it at the gate. But you can't transfer it. It's hard to transfer to spots to print or to get a good copy of because they're trying to keep you from frauding the tickets. They want it easy and accessible to where it is on your phone. They just scan it at the gate and you just move on. But
Well, you can go to Walgreens and have those, like a picture of the thing on your phone printed up, I think.
Well, what ended up happening, I told my boss about the whole ordeal, and he ended up bringing like his little laptop. He did Google imaging, and we were able to essentially, with his laptop, take the picture of the ticket off my phone, and we saved it as a file, and we printed anyway.
You uploaded it and sent it to them?
Well, we got it. That's another thing. This is the thing. Did you get you have to send a copy of the receipt of what you paid for the tickets, including fees.
This is like some mafia shit, dude.
And then last, this was the thing that actually set me off, was, well, we're going to need a letter from your employer stating that that you were revoked that time off, that you can't go to this game.
This is like treating you like a damn high school student or some shit.
Like, I would
Can we see your hall pass?
I would love to think that I'm making this up, but in my wildest of dreams, I never would have thought that I would have to go through that much shit. When you purchase the insurance for the tickets, I just never thought I would have to go through this. And so the guy tells me that last part. He's like, I need a letter. Oh, yeah, and I need a letter from your employer stating blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you need what? Well, I was like going off. And he's like, well, and it's funny that you mentioned the car accident because that's what he brought up. He's like, well, it's insurance on this. If you got in an auto wreck, it's just like that. There'd be a police report filed. We would need all the paperwork from that and this and that. I'm like, that is for a car.
That's thousands of dollars.
That's potential injury. There's so many other things involved in an auto wreck. These are two damn tickets. Like, this is two. First of all, they're two tickets that I could return at full value, and these people could resell, right? Whereas in an auto accident, you can't return that. You can return what's left of that car, but it's not at anywhere near its full value anymore.
So could you return them right now to Ticketmaster or Saints
I can't.
front office or whatever it's called?
No, I can't. That's why you're supposed to get
why
the
you do the
insurance. If I didn't have the insurance at all, I'd just be screwed. But it just feels scamish because you have to jump through all these hoops just to get your money back. And it's not even your fault, It's just like, man, I'm the one who got revoked. It's like, well, here's a kick in the nuts. You don't get to go on your vacation. And here's a second kick in the nuts. Now you've got to make your employer give you a letter saying why you can't go.
Well, it's kind of, in a way, it's beyond ridiculous that they're making you do that. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, fuck yeah. Fuck those assholes for taking away your vacation. Now they have to do something because of it.
Yeah, a letter's not hard to print, but it's just...
But it's still time out of their day.
It's just
it's
the whole thing.
And you're showing them like, hey, dickweed, like, look what you're making me miss out on. So.
And then I tell the guy, I was like, well, I'll get these documents for you. As much as that's going to suck, I'm going to get these documents. I'm going to scan them and I'll email them to you. He's like, oh yeah, scan them and email them. So I get the documents. I look up the websites on the emails I've got. There's no website. All of their websites are do not reply. So it's like, what email address am I going to send these copies to? And so there's a fax number. It's 2018. Can we stop with the fax numbers already? Like, why is there a fucking fax number? Scan it and email it, man. It's 2018.
I have to fax stuff
But
sometimes.
there's a fax number. There shouldn't even be a fax number. And then there's no direct point of contact. You go through this, you have to jump through this hoop. Everything is solely set up for you to jump through hoops so that hopefully you'll give up and just be like, screw it.
I'm just not going to go and miss out on the...
It's too much money. I'm not going to go screw it. I have to get my money back. Like, this is not like $40 here. This is some money that I've put on this damn thing, but... That's what that's part of my week. That's what we're going through, and it makes me cautious to file for a vacation again. It makes me cautious to buy tickets in advance again, which you need to, because it sucks. It's terrible, but.
Well, especially in New Orleans, they do a pretty good job of supporting their Saints, especially with them doing well right now.
I mean, what a great event that would have been, but whatever. So now we're looking at other dates, and I don't even know if I trust buying tickets now. It scares the shit out of me, but there we go. So that's where we're at.
Well, hopefully, out of all this bullshit, you'll find something that may be even surprisingly better than that trip. Maybe like whenever you do get to reschedule for your vacation, something better comes up.
I was thinking about going and seeing Manziel up in Canada.
No, something good.
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, unless you want to like go up there and make fun of him and shit. Hey, Johnny Fagball.
So anyway, so that's what we've got going on this week, and uninteresting and all that stuff. But just we're getting screwed out of vacations and all that good stuff. But anyway, so I feel like it's a good show. Good show this week. Next week we've got the college football preview coming up. So we got some dusting off of, college info and all that stuff coming up. And
I've been hearing about that Missouri quarterback.
Yeah.
Boise State quarterback.
Yep. So we got a whole lot to cover next week. We'll give our previews. We'll end up picking maybe who's going to be the top two in each major conference. I love the word major. Every time you're saluting, I feel like, man, I love the word major, apparently. I didn't realize till now.
See, well, for the listeners out there, there's a thing on the show, How I Met Your Mother, where if somebody says major something or general something, they salute it. And, major conferences,
There you go.
I just thought it was one of my favorite things from sitcoms and stuff. So
There you go.
You don't see it, but every time he says major something, I'll salute it, and
So next week, college football preview. We'll talk about the 5 big
Power conferences. You were wanting to say major so bad.
And so the power conferences, we'll give our take. We'll even try to say who we think will go into the 14 playoff. We'll probably have a special guest or two, and looking forward to a great show next week on the 19th. Until then, this has been Chance Del Fuego.
And this is Drunk Tim.
And you all have a fantastic week. Thanks for listening.
Don't do anything I would do.
Have you ever felt like shutting the fuck up?
Well, I'm out, man.